Don't fear poking them in the eye. Hi, I'm Brian Pombo. Welcome back to Brian J. Pombo Live. Today, I wanted to talk about a common fear that happens when you start doing YouTube videos or any type of content on a regular basis where you're discussing things that some people won't approve of, or some people won't like your stance on, or they won't like your point of view. You really have to be careful not to be too nice, because being too nice is a killer. Being too nice is boring. You have to be willing to poke somebody in the eye, not intentionally. I'm not saying you're reaching out there to intentionally piss somebody off, okay? I'm not saying to do that. I'm saying that it's going to happen. If you're making content on a regular basis, you're going to say something that somebody doesn't like. You can go through my videos as unintentional in terms of being offensive as they are. I really almost never set out to cause any form of offense whatsoever. I still get people coming back at me like I really said something horribly wrong. The most recent one I did was and you can go back a few months, and I had made a video about direct mail because I received a direct mail piece. Due to COVID, the Jehovah's Witnesses were not going door to door, and so they were sending direct mail, and I got a direct mail piece. It wasn't even for me, but it was for whoever the occupant was, and I read it and critiqued it and judged it as a piece of mail, not as a piece of religious criticism one way or the other or anything else, just purely as a piece of mail, as in a way that a person could judge it and see how they could apply it to their business or what have you. Boy, I got so much. You go read the comments on YouTube with all the people saying Jehovah's Witnesses are a cult and this and this and that. I wasn't making any point about who it was from. It had nothing to do with any of that. All the point I was making was how to use this medium to help your business, and using this as an example. Controversial piece of example, because there's a lot of people that don't like what they were selling basically, and so it happens. It's going to happen. You're going to poke people in the eye, but this is what you've got to remember, is that if you're talking the 99-1 rule, we talked about this a couple nights ago, 90% of everybody that comes across your content, that consumes any of your content whatsoever, is going to do absolutely nothing with it, at least initially. With any given piece of content, they are not going to do anything with it. They are not going to like, they're not going to thumbs up, thumbs down, they're not going to comment on it, they're not going to share it with their friends, they're not going to do anything. 90%, at least 90%. About 9% are going to do something. 9% may do something with it. Guess who's in that 9%? That 9%, first off, is going to be people who you poked in the eye. That you did something that made them feel like they have to say something about it. They've got to leave a comment. They've got to give you a thumbs down. They got to do something because they don't like the cut of your jib. They don't like just the way you did something, said something, whatever, and there's no way around it. If you're putting out enough content, you're going to get negativity back. You have to realize this is part of the formula. You have to get a reaction. Yeah, it'd be great if you got nothing but positive reaction, but that really doesn't make it happen. Within the 9% and the final 1%, you're going to have negativity. That top 10% of people that respond at all to your content, you're going to have negative. And if you want to get to that 10%, especially that 1%, that you get something very clear cut off of, something very useful off of, when you get to that point, you've got to make sure that you've got some negative mixed in there. There's got to be conflict. Conflict is what makes things move. You can't help it. Yeah, you can intentionally go out and try and stir it up. I don't know. I've never worked enough in that realm. You really can do that. And people have been successful doing that. And you could even see other people doing it and maybe try copying them. Try it out, see what happens if you're up for that. But it's not necessary. You do enough content, you'll get negative back. And that negative is a good thing and it's necessary. And don't lose any sleep over it. Just keep moving. Don't be afraid to poke people in the eye. Hopefully that makes sense to you. If you'd like to understand other ways of why you would want to put out content on a regular basis when it comes to content marketing, I've got a book that really covers a lot of this. 9 Ways to Amazon Proof Your Business. It's all about how to manipulate your marketing in order to make yourself competition proof, how to make yourself stand out so differently out there. I've also got a handful of podcasts where we go over these principles over and over and over again. Even though they're an interview format, we always come back and we hit up on all the principles. You're going to catch so much good stuff in those shows. I've got Off the Grid Biz podcast. You can check that out at offthegridbiz.com. I've also got Grants Pass VIP, which is nothing but people in the Grants Pass area work or live in the Grants Pass area who are movers and shakers, people doing stuff around here. And it's my conversations with them, and you're going to learn something there too. And also right here, Brian J. Pombo Live. Just if you connect to some of these podcasts, you're going to get a lot of different views and perspectives on business, and it will really help grow your perspective. I guarantee it. Go grab my book, AmazonProofBook.com. You grab it for free. In the meantime, we'll be back tomorrow. Get out there and let the magic happen.